approving the permit for outdoor music.
So after last week's workshop, I contacted Jessica at Northwest Brewing and let them know that council would like the neighbors notified. And so she drafted a letter, which is included in your packet, and proceeded to notify the neighbors. Again, the event will be held on June 28th from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Northwest Brewing. 4 security personnel and 4 parking attendants will be on duty. And again, she had advised me that she'd spoken to Stephanie. I don't know if that was confirmed or not, but.
So, and I will say that Lieutenant Massey did talk to the officers and looked at past reports from when they had this event last year, and there were no reports, no incidents. You can confirm that, I guess. So we asked that question, and he did get back to us that answer. What's council's pleasure?
Move to approve the outdoor music entertainment permit for Northwest Brewing Company for the party.
Second. Okay, Councilmember Putnam.
Local business does good, no complaints from the neighbors, let's let them do it again.
All right, Councilmember Peterson.
I attended last year, and it was a wonderful event, and families, kids, everyone had a great time, and I think it's, I think it's going to be fun.
Any further comments from council? Any comments from the audience? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the outdoor entertainment permit, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda, resolution number 2014-184.
Resolution authorizing investment of governmental entity monies in the LGIP state investment pool. Last week I did not give you the prospectus, and our attorney reminded us of this while I was out of town, so I never get a chance to get it to Amy. Did you put this in there, Austin? Okay, good. I wanted you to know I read through the prospectus, and all it really tells is the status of the pool over the last few years, and also that there's risk. Just as much risk with investing with them as there is with the one I'm doing on Thursday, which is really interesting to me because I thought it was less risky, but as I read through it, I try and understand everything they're saying. Same kind of risk. And so it's and you know, of course, there's charges too for services like we're doing with the private entity. So I was wondering, why do we have so much money in there? It's liquid, I like that, but we don't quite need as much. But anyway, that's a different story. But there's nothing surprising or that I don't think you have any questions about it. All it is stating what the pool is for and how it's used and the investments they make. So any questions?
Councilmember Jones.
This is just to maintain our yearly, is this yearly or?
It's ongoing, and this is the first resolution I've seen. Like, it's actually sent it out to me saying we need to have you do this so you can stay part of the pool. So that's all it is. It's for them.
Any other questions? Council's pleasure.
Move to approve resolution number 2014-184. Second.
Councilmember Jones.
Since we have a large amount of money associated with this, I assume that we would want to continue being a member of it. And, I know we're going to look at different investments in the future, starting with this Thursday, but still, this is a fluid asset with penalties, we understand, but nonetheless, we need to have the availability to us, and it's just an ongoing continuation of our existing agreement. Nothing further.
Any other comments from council? Comments from the audience? Seeing none, roll call of council, please.
Councilmember Jones?
Aye.
Councilmember Newsom?
Aye.
Councilmember Putnam?
Aye.
Councilmember Walker?
Aye.
Councilmember Garberding?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda, ordinance number 2014-186.
This is an ordinance that would allow the police department to expect a check from a businessman for $1,500 for community events.
questions? Council's pleasure.
Move to approve ordinance number 2014-1865, accepting the grant of $200.
Second.
Okay, Councilmember Walker.
We've received this grant of in the past. It's for a great cause, and I appreciate the grant.
Councilmember Smith. Any other comments from council? Comments from the audience? Seeing none, roll call of council.
Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
Councilmember Putnam.
Aye.
Councilmember Walker.
Aye.
Councilmember Garvin. Aye. Councilmember Jones.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is resolution 2014-186, approving the waiver of park usage fees for Terry Home Car Show to be held on August 16th, 2014 at the city park.
So, dates and collecting.
It is on the worksheet, but not on the resolution. So, anyway, I guess I'll speak on that, bringing it forward. As you can see, the board president is the one that filled out the application, but I believe this is a great community event. We had this event last year at the city park. The citizens appreciate it. It benefits our community, brings tourism, brings people to our city, spending some money, and enjoying our city park, learning more about Pacific. So, with that, any questions?
Move to approve resolution number 2014-186, waiving the fees of the city park for Terry Home Car Show on August 16th, 2014.
Second.
Okay, Councilmember Walker.
Thank you so much. It's a great event. We've done it before.
It was a great event. I went last year. I'm looking forward to going again. Great.
Any other comments from council? Comments from the audience? Seeing none, roll call council.
Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
Councilmember Putnam.
Aye.
Councilmember Walker.
Aye.
Councilmember Garvin. Aye. Councilmember Jones.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next item on the agenda, resolution 2014-187.
2014-187 is setting the date for a public hearing regarding the business, marijuana businesses in the City of Pacific. It has to do with medical marijuana ordinance, retail, and also the production of marijuana. There's 3 ordinances that are being reviewed.
Did you want to expand upon that?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Our current interim zoning ordinance is going to expire on the 3rd of August. And this keeps us in our timeline to adopt an ordinance or ordinances before that ordinance expires. So this also gives us a chance to get public input on the matter.
So that'd be public input on the matter prior to those ordinance going to workshop and the following.
This is the special meeting on
July 16th.
Correct.
Will be the public hearing / town hall public input.
Town hall meeting. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, questions from council? Councilmember Jones.
Just the right way it's written out, that talking about proposed ordinances for moratorium, we're not talking about moratorium, we're talking
No.
talking about whether we are.
The 3 proposed ordinances, correct.
I just want to make sure that
Right.
we're not going to be able to go through it, Heather.
Well, we actually can, but we're trying not to.
I know.
Councilmember Walker.
So, and the planning commission holds their meeting prior to this, right? So
Tomorrow night.
So it'll come out of that, and there'll be
Correct.
plenty of time for the citizens to review those before the meeting, right?
Correct.
Okay. And they'll be posted, will be posted on our website or
Correct.
somewhere accessible.
So, but it has to go through planning commission before we come.
I remember we scheduled it for that reason, but I want to make sure,
Okay.
when we have public hearings, a lot of times the first time people see it, when they walk into our pickup.
So we're trying to make sure, the whole point of this is we want to make sure that we get public input from the citizens. And what we had also discussed in staff meeting is we're going to use every means of communication we have to get this information out.
That was my next question.
So everything that we have available, we've talked about using the police reader every means that is available to the city to point people to it so they have the opportunity. And we're scheduling to have that in the gym.
And if we talk to Auburn Reporter about putting it up, not just in the other section that nobody reads, but either an actual article or a letter to the editor or...
I thought he was going to be here tonight, but I will send an email, and I'll CC all of you on it so you can see. But I wanted to do an article just like he did for the city of Auburn when they had their town hall meeting. Just do a little article to let people know. I mean, like I said, every means available to us, even if I have to pay for it, just to let people know, you know, that this is what's going to be taking place. We want as much input from the citizens as we have so that council can make a decision accordingly. Councilmember Garber.
You don't have a time for the meeting here, so it's July 16th.
Yeah, we had it scheduled for 7.
It's on,
It's not on the book, and it's not on my paper that I can see.
It's not.
It's
She's
scheduled
right.
for 7 p.m.
7 p.m.?
Yeah.
And then are you also going to put this on the water bill?
Yes.
Or is that,
Yes.
Yes.
You are, okay.
It's on the resolution. Yeah. Yes. It is on the resolution in section 1. In section 1.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Okay. Any other questions? What's council's pleasure? I don't need a motion yet.
Move to approve resolution number 2014-20, setting a public hearing for considering ordinances related to medical retail and professional center only in the city.
Councilmember Walker, would you like to speak to?
No, this is just setting a public hearing.
Councilmember Garber.
It'll be good to get citizen input and try to get as many people here as we can.
Any other comments from council? No comments from the audience?
Well, it was just to say, use specific dates, but...
Gene Fancher, 37248 55th Avenue South. We will be having a big shindig in town for Pacific Days. That would be a great opportunity to have the mayor and the council or police department or Ken or somebody come up and use the microphone there and make some public announcements and draw some people in. Thank you. Great idea. Thank you. Any other comments from the audience? Did you have a further comment?
I did, but I can wait a second. With all the people lining up. Does the city have any kind of representation at Pacific Days? A booth or something else at the
Park board.
Would we be able to maybe put a flyer at the park board table to just...
Yeah, I would be happy to put flyers there if the park board would be okay with that. And even maybe partnerships would allow us to put flyers on there.
Don't see anybody from the park board left.
I'll ask them for partnerships. I'll ask park board and partnerships.
I'm kind of waiting.
You get permission?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right, we got permission for partnerships. Anyway, like I said, any means that we have, if you guys think of something, let me know. Maybe the post office will allow us to put notices over there as well. Just
That's required, it's in ordinance.
That's true, but extra flyers to take.
Big signs.
So, okay? All right. Roll call, council, please.
Councilmember Putnam.
Aye.
Councilmember Walker.
Aye.
Councilmember Garberding.
Aye.
Councilmember Jones.
Aye.
Councilmember Smithson.
Hi.
Motion carries.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda is we had the executive session regarding the appointment of Richard Gould as city administrator to discuss qualifications. I think before we go into executive session, does council have questions that they would like to ask our finance director, Richard Gould?
Looking at your resume, I see a lot of financial background. Do you have any management of city?
Yes. I was city manager during 2002 and 3, the city of Carnation. While they did a search for a new city manager, he stepped down. And that was during a time when we actually passed code and regulations and whatnot to get sewer established. They hadn't had a sewer in the city and they've been trying for 30 years, and we worked with King County. It was one of the accomplishments, but There was a few. I mean, when the mayor, I think the mayor said it best when he hoped we would hold the line, and we actually moved the line forward. And I really, I have a degree in management, because that's really, so I do like accounting a lot. I have to like numbers, obviously, but I enjoy helping people be successful, and the best position to do that from is managing. But yeah, I did manage that city.
Any other questions?
What are your goals? I'm sorry. Go ahead. What are your goals for the first 6 months?
My goals, similar to the goals I had when I came in as finance director, to bring everybody to work together. I mean, I think the city's come a long way since I first started. It's not all me, it's everybody involved, from the mayor, the council, down to the staff. But I want to see that, I think we need to bring in the department heads to work together, and to be cohesive. I think there's a little bit of still some strain there and some things we need to work on, to make sure that any issues that they have are addressed on a daily basis, so I can understand what their challenges are. And so that's very similar to what I did with the staff I took over in finance. And of course, it's to work together for the common goal of making a cohesive budget and putting together all the plans that are going to put the city forward into the future.
My only question is on your job history, your timeline. How long do you see yourself here with the city of Cincinnati?
Oh, until I retire.
No, we like to ask you your age, but who was president when you were born?
I say Kennedy, but you may not believe me.
Oh.
But no, I plan on being here. I enjoy working here. I enjoy working with Mayor Geyer and the whole council. Yeah, there's challenges. We're going to have challenges, obviously, but I think...
You didn't run from the last one.
No, and this is a new one, and I think the team that thrives in these, and the staff has worked well with me, and I'm looking forward to being a support, not so much in telling people what to do, because that's not my style, unless they need it, and if they need it, they're not going to be around long. So, but to work with staff and the department heads to move the city forward together. And so, and if you look back at the past of this city, you can see that that's been a challenge. And so I think we're coming together now. I think this will give, and so also, one of the things I learned about the city administrator while I was at AWC was the key part of the position is communication. Communication with the council and, of course, the mayor, because I become like the mayor's right hand, you know, as far as providing information for her if we have an emergency. There was I don't know if you all remember the explosion in North Bend this year when the city block pretty much blew up. And the city administrator played such a key position that, not by anything she could personally do, but just get information from staff, collate it, get it together for the mayor so it could get out to the public. And that's something that jazzes me as far as being able to do that, to provide that. I see a lot that's going good for the city, and I want to support that and help it, and I think I can do that best from city administrator. And be finance director at the same time, because that's my passion as well, to keep providing good reports for you guys and keeping us on the up and up with finance.
How do you see your relationship with the mayor as far as, you know, working together or,
Well, we have a lot of give and take. You know, the mayor is the mayor. She's my boss, and her word is final. But Mayor Geyer listens to me, and I can challenge her, and that's okay, with things that maybe we don't agree on. But we always come out with a consensus, and usually it's her way, but that's okay. She listens and she knows. But I just see being able to give her eyes on all the time. So if she comes in, she doesn't have to ask everybody all these questions. She'll know. You know, Mayor Geyer's still going to hold staff meetings. That's what we want from her. But I'll be the voice here. I'll be the person that's the contact for any of you, and of course the mayor. And so I think our relationship has worked to this point. I don't think she'd be asking me to do this if we didn't have the kind of relationship that worked together so well.
Any other questions? Do you feel that you can, I mean, that would be a big responsibility, having to be accountable for everyone and taking on staff and issues, and you're not doing your job, and not you, meaning you find someone.
I agree. It is, but I think the way I work, I'm going to delegate. I don't want to hold, like I told you earlier, I'm not going to hold anybody's hand. I've had to do this with my staff, is to say, okay, you need to learn how to do this because don't want to do this, or I don't have the time because I have to do things like this and this. same thing with the department heads, it's gonna be, okay, if something's not working, I'm gonna find out about it, and we're gonna go talk about how it can work. My goal is to make everybody better at what they do, help them be better at what they do. That's the role of a good manager. And I think I've done that so far as the finance director. I know I did it in Carnation as a city manager. We really made a lot of gains in the time I was there, and that's what I want to do here. Yes, a lot of responsibility, you become center focused of a lot of things. I'm not afraid of that.
I don't want to lose you as finance director, so you'll be able to balance both
Yes.
and not go crazy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the goal.
And I will, to answer that, Councilmember Garvey, that was a long conversation that we had before even considering taking over that, because that was a concern of mine as well. Any other questions from council? No? So with that, we will go ahead and take a 10-minute recess for council to deliberate.